As the clean-up continues from last week, people living here are also having to prepare for the possibility of more floods. The forecast is again for heavy rain, and that's on top of all the rain they had last week and over the weekend. 4 days on, and council workers were still clearing tons of soil and debris from the streets of Llanberis.
Well, we're pretty much on top of it now. It just depends with this weather now if there's any more going to be washed down, and hope for the best that it doesn't happen. So.
And this is where a lot of the debris was cleared from. On Thursday, the Llangollen flooded over the bridge into the rest of the village. But again, today, as you can see, the rain is torrential. I've been here for several hours now, and residents say that the river is again rising by the minute. For these residents down the road, the damage is already done. This family will have to move out of their property for 6 months. Their neighbours are in the same predicament.
We've got damaged floors. Well, the whole of the ground floor is damaged. Some of the furniture, but there we are. We're alive.
And several businesses are also left counting the cost.
It's devastating. It's been nearly in tears for days, unfortunately, but nobody was hurt. That's the important thing.
Over at the council depot, staff have been working tirelessly to make sure that everyone has the equipment they need to fight the elements. But for some, fighting the water proved a difficult battle to win. And with over a third of a month's worth of rain expected to fall in some parts of North Wales today, the Environment Agency were warning that more flooding was inevitable.
Well, we're expecting some heavy rainfall overnight, but the biggest issue really is this rainfall is going to fall on ground that's already saturated and also flow into rivers which are already very high, and that could lead to some problems with flooding for communities in the area.
There was better news for other areas. 10 years ago, Bangor-on-Dee would flood regularly, but the installation of new flood defences and a pumping station has meant that this area has escaped. But disruption for travellers was harder to avoid. Some roads were closed completely, like this one between Pwllheli and Llanbedrog, others barely passable. And for rail passengers, there won't be any trains running from Bangor to Holyhead until tomorrow at the earliest. Conditions are expected to be drier in the next few days, but after being hit twice in the space of a week, that will only be a little comfort for flood victims in North Wales.